I was reading the newspaper today, and there was an interesting article about a former client of mine, Rarity, who I've previously covered the opening of her Canterlot boutique. Now she's had one open in Manhattan. Apparently she's opened it with quite some struggle. It seems that when Rarity first got to her Manhattan boutique, to later be known as Rarity for You, the place was completely empty, full of dust, and there was just junk all over the place. Things were falling apart. Rarity and her friends had a lot of hard work ahead of them to fix the place up. But just as this group of friends had previously worked to get Twilight's castle in shape, so too would they now work hard to get Rarity's new boutique in shape. As the day went on, Rarity encountered a number of problems. A pushy landlord who wanted Rarity to employ his daughter at any cost, regardless of the fact that the daughter didn't have experience or good ideas. A family of raccoons that had moved into Rarity's back room and smelled of trash and were being generally pests. A loud dubsteppy music nightclub on the upper floor of Rarity's building that had not been active on the day that Rarity purchased the property, that she was only just now discovering existed in her building. Her trusted friend, who she hired as a sales pony for the shop, and the only employee she had hired as of so far, had fallen sick and was not able to perform her duties as sales pony. And lastly, all of Rarity's boxes of clothes and other supplies arriving from Ponyville, they were all completely unorganized. Luckily, Rarity had 5 friends to help her out with these 5 unique problems, and having learned their lesson in not being individuals and instead being team players when they tried to fix up Twilight Sparkle's castle sometime last year, this group of friends knew that when it comes to solving Rarity's problems, that the best way to do them was to ask themselves, what would Rarity do? Just like when they failed to ask themselves what would Twilight do when decorating Twilight's castle, and all of those unique decorating ideas clashed, so too now would unifying their thoughts and doing what Rarity would want would pay off in the end as a great result. However, this wasn't the problem, and everything went wrong. Raccoons went running rampant, clothing remained unorganized, music just got louder, employees remained unhired, and the landlord got mad that Applejack had rejected one of his daughter's ideas. It seems that just because uniting their decorating ideas under what Twilight wanted when they were decorating Twilight's castle worked out, doesn't mean that the same advice works out in every situation. In this particular case, doing what Rarity wanted did not work out quite as well as doing what Twilight wanted back in the days of decorating the castle. Now, this time a new moral had to be learned. This time, unlike last time, being unique and doing your own thing and combining their unique ideas together instead of being a horrible mess of everything going wrong, actually ended up being a perfect flow of ideas that combined together in a way that was unique and whimsical and pleasing to the customers, and everything worked out for the better. It turns out that Plaid Stripes doesn't actually have bad ideas, that raccoons make good waiters, that hiring every pony instead of having to choose between 3 great possible employees, organizing things multiple ways instead of just one way, and getting the party to continue instead of getting the party to silence itself, were all great ideas, and all blended together, they all worked out perfectly. I guess in the end of the day, the moral of the story is that while sometimes it's good to consider your friend's needs and to do what your friend wants when making decorating decisions for your friend, sometimes it's also good to do your own thing and use multiple different decorating ideas combined to pull off great results. And since you'll never know whether it's better to do what your friend wants or do what you want, it's best to just make a decision and hope for the best, and know that if it doesn't work out right, to switch tactics and try the other way. Either way, Rarity for You seemed to be quite a success. Every pony was impressed by it, and the newspaper article wasn't as bad as Rarity and her friends were fearing it would be. I think after this I might just start my own photography studio someplace, and hopefully not be inundated with loud music and pesky rodents. Anyhow, that's about all the thoughts I have for now. Until next time, thank you for listening.
Sweet.